You can keep messaging me, Sammy. Um, is this, I'm assuming, hi,
I'm still
is your audio muted? Oh,
figure this out.
there you go. We see you. We see you joining us. I'm going to keep going, and you can just hop in as your audio or video works. Can you hear us? Hi. We can't hear you. Sherry, your audio still works, right?
Yes, I can hear fine.
So, oh, we lost her. We're good there.
Oh.
Yeah, so those are just two things that I would say over and over all the time. Like anytime I started just feeling myself drooping, because it's really important to keep your thoughts high and elevated. And so you have to do little things. So those are what helped me with the podcast every single morning. The reminders going off on my phone. One would be like, hey, beautiful, you're amazing. Another one was, each day it's getting easier. And I would just literally say that, each day it's getting easier. A couple analogies here. This is something I had read in a book, and I was like, okay, it has to be that easy. When we walk into a room and we turn on a light switch, it's dark, and we need light, we just flip on that light switch. We don't walk into a room and try to find matches and try to create a fire, and then if we don't know how to, we're not calling 911, we're not calling a conference call or reading through a manual, we're merely switching on that light. And so if we're in a moment of darkness, all we gotta do is flip on that switch. And so I would just say over and over and over, it's as easy as a switch. It's easy as a switch. Like it's that easy. Because I'm not in physical pain. I didn't break a leg. I didn't lose a leg. I'm not having these huge issues. It's all mental. So if it's mental, it's just my thoughts. Those just need to be replaced. And so saying things and making it this big, whatever how we make problems, making them as small as we can. So it's as easy as a switch, saying that over and over. Another really good thing to do, so this is a habit or like a routine I would do at night. If you cross your hands and then you cross your legs. So you've now, you can't see my legs, but you're just intertwining them and then cross your arms and legs. You're now mixing up right and left brain controls and controlling both of them instead where most of us seriously think more of one side of the brain. So doing this daily, and you say whatever it is you need to say. For me, I was like, there are no handsome men out there at all. Like, besides my ex, I was convinced that there were no other good-looking men. And so I would just be like, there are handsome men everywhere. Or before I was even ready for that, I was just like, I am beginning to love me. I'm beginning to see that each day is getting better and better. So saying your affirmations with this really help you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just do that in the evenings. What? Is your audio working, Sammy? No. No. Okay. That's okay. But yeah, so those are some of the tips I would use. And journaling, writing down constantly what you're grateful for. And I am huge on meditations. I would not have gotten through that time period had I not started to meditate and do yoga. And I can send you, Sherry, some of the meditations, some of my favorite ones.
You could.
Yeah,
I can't do it on my own. Like I have to have a guided because my mind drifts in 3 seconds. So definitely guided meditation.
We'll do a guided meditation in here in a little bit, one of my favorite ones. Yeah. But one is just, it's called the full body scan. So everything that you need in your life right now, you already have. We're connected to source, we're connected to the stars, the universe, the ocean, that's what we're made of. And so we don't need to search for anything outside of us, we have it. So when meditating, it's coming from us, our core. And so with this particular meditation, the body scan, we're sending love from ourselves, from the connected universe, and we're just sending it to every inch of our body. So I usually start with my head, and I personally like to lay on my back. You want to keep your palms up and open to receiving. And you're literally just sending love from the core of you, and I will do this, sending love to my hair, to my forehead, to my eyes, to my cheekbones, my cheeks, my teeth, my smile, and you just work your way all the way down, sending love completely down to the bottom of your toes. And that's just really good for getting recentered, refocused, and then just filling up our body with love, because in those moments we don't feel very loved.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then the thing that really got me through there is my book. It was creating love, spreading love. I just kept saying, okay, the love we put out comes back. So I need love. So I'm going to start putting some out for it to come back. And it started with trying to do a random act of kindness once a week. Okay, every Sunday I'm just going to try a new idea, something new. I'm going to put love out there. And then it got so addicting and so much fun that it just turned into a lifestyle, a daily habit, rituals. But that's something I highly recommend to people in my support groups, my suicide groups, is being a part of something. Not all of us have the time or money to volunteer for like soup kitchens and shelters, but there are tons of ways, and there's some in my book that just sending letters, writing a note to your mailman. One thing my daughter and I did was we took business cards or like Post-it notes and rewrote "You are meant to be," and then we stapled a mint candy on it. Something about that just made me smile. Mm-hmm. And I made a whole Ziploc bag of them. And so they're in my car. And every time we'd get out of the car, we would just stuff our pockets. And then the goal was to leave them places without being seen. So we would drop them on a car. We would drop them at a cash register, on the food aisle, and leave them there. And just be like, we're planting seeds of love. And every once in a while, like I would hashtag them so I could see people's uploads later on and see how it made their day. Or a couple times I put an email address on there, and I got several emails back that were just amazing. But anytime I was having a rough day, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go take a 15-minute break or lunch break, and I'm going to walk around the block, and I'm just going to drop some on people's cars, knowing that I have the power to make their day better. I'm sending them love, knowing full well it's going to come back. And it really did. And so the key at this point in our lives is just saying, like, okay, I don't want to feel this way anymore, so I'm going to take life by the horns of the bull. I'm going to take the bull by the horns, whatever the saying is. I'm going to do this. And so then once you decide to do it, you got to commit. And that's where all these little tools help you elevate your thoughts, going to a higher level. Because it's so easy to be like, wah, wah, wah.
Right. Just a question, because I feel like I'm ruminating constantly. I wake up in the middle of the night, and before I'm even aware that I'm awake, he's right in my head. Oh my God. It's almost like it started, it's the day one again. Oh my gosh, this is just, I can't believe he did this. And then it goes over, and then I go over everything. And no matter what I'm doing during the day, and what bothers me the most is when I'm spending time with my son. It doesn't go away, and I can't even, I feel like he's right here in front of me. And I try to say these things to myself, and I feel like I'm lying to myself because I'm trying to convince myself of something that I don't believe, and I'm trying to believe. And I had a couple of okay days, and then I saw pictures on Facebook with him and his new girlfriend, and it just started like all over again. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get over that. I feel like I was literally exchanged at a store and replaced in, like you said, a day. It was like the same thing for me. I feel like I was replaced, and here I thought this man loved me. He told me the night that and he didn't even tell me in person. It was just, he just kind of disappeared, and I called him, and he wouldn't meet with me. And how do you not meet with me? It's 5.5 years. How do you not say goodbye? And it was just such a horrible feeling when he told me we should see other people, and I found out he was already seeing somebody. So it's just, the ruminating is so, it's unstoppable, and I don't know how to get the thoughts to change. And all these suggestions are great, and I'm definitely going to try them. I've tried to do the positive affirmations in terms, like I put, like, you are amazing on my bathroom mirror like a few weeks ago, and I look at it every day, and I've been trying to write anytime I feel like I need to write. And I feel okay, like when I'm talking to people. Everybody says, you sound so much better. I said, because I'm talking. As soon as I get off the phone, I'm in tears. And I have to keep talking about it. And some of my friends don't want to hear it anymore. And I feel like sometimes I'm just left by myself with my thoughts. So
I literally was screaming, get out of my head, get the fuck out of my head. I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly.
yeah,
And it's a process. You're going through a mourning period. You're allowed to mourn. You're allowed to take time. It's going to take time. And it's just staying focused on these are baby steps. I'm moving forward. Each day is getting slightly easier and easier. Each day, it really, really is. And sure enough, you're going to look back and be like, oh, it really was getting easier and easier. But when you're in and amongst it, it feels very consuming. It feels very powerful. I know exactly. I'd be like, I can't even walk to work. I can't even walk into my job. You're in my house. You're in my car. You're in my bed. You're in everything. You've got to get out.
right.
So it's just, bless you, Dominic, and I'm releasing you. I would say that I'm releasing you. Bless you, and I'm sending you. And one thing I would say is, you leaving me was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Saying it over, and I did not believe it at first. I was so angry and so mad and thought we had amazing. But I just kept saying, you leaving me was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. What would that feel like? What would that feel like? The best thing that ever happened to me. And sure enough, I look back and I'm just like, you leaving me really was. I would never have written a book. I would never have gotten suicide certified. I would have never started my charity events. I would never be doing anything that I'm doing right now 2 years later had I not been through that process. And so literally just think of a catapult. In order to shoot it off, you have to pull it back. So you were fine, you were okay, you were good. You're being pulled back. This is shitty, and it sucks. But then you're going to fly right past, not only were you good, but right into fucking amazing land. And that's where you're at right now. You're just in that pullback.
Right.
You're getting through it only to fly out.
Right. Right. I think it's so hard because I know I'm suffering so much. And like you said, I couldn't eat. I mean, I lost 6 pounds in a week. I mean, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I think I got 2 hours of sleep for an entire week. And knowing that he just had somebody right from the beginning and didn't have any remorse, didn't have a feeling about it. Like, I'm out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. The next day, he had him and his girl up on social media saying, I love you, boo. Both of them were like, I love, and I was just like, what? Wow. It was horrible. But nobody can make you feel something that you don't already feel. So when I was extremely angry and felt betrayed and abandoned, I was like, wait a minute. How am I causing this? These things are already here that he just brought to the surface. So let me look at these. And allow yourself to cry. I would sit butt-ass naked in my bedroom in front of a mirror crying, saying, you are beautiful and I love you. Because he left me for a girl that had big boobs, big butt. I don't have those. And so I felt completely ugly, completely unattractive, and started hating on my own body. Like, fucking kidding me, I don't have big boobs. Like, that's not love. That's not going to help. So literally sitting in front of the mirror naked and being like, you are perfect. Your body is perfect, and I love you. And allow yourself to cry and get through it. And then end with, but I'm grateful for, or bless you and I'm releasing you. Always try when you're in those moments, you've got to feel the feeling, feel the thoughts, and then let them go through and end it positively. A lot of times we're just like, shut up, don't feel that, and we're like stuffing up a big bottle ready to explode.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just
it's not. Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard, and I'm trying to take care of my son, and I feel like I'm not able to be that mother that I should be. And I think the worst part is that, you know, my son's 12, and he's known him since he's 6, and he just left. It's almost like a father just left and abandoned my child, and that hurts me so much. And he has 3 children who I was close to. His family embraced me. I was part of his family, and none of them reached out. And I just feel like abandoned by everybody. And like you said, it brings back so many issues from me not feeling. I always felt like I was invisible in my family. Never felt like I was on the outside looking in. I was the one who never really felt a part of it, and I never felt loved. And I feel like he did exactly the same thing to me that I've always been feeling. And it's just brought up. Well, it's raw. It's just raw inside.
Well, that's what you need to go back and heal. That's what you need to go address and work on those issues. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in the same exact place going through the same exact cycle a year, 3 years, 5 years from now. So
Right.
this
Can you
is
hear
the
me?
universe's way of knocking on you. Yes, we can hear you.
You can?
Oh, we can.
Hi, girls. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but I've been listening to you, and I totally actually understand. I'm sorry to interrupt, Ariel, but like what you're saying about the ruminating and getting out of your own, like,
Yeah,
but
would you just say your name, introduce yourself?
of course. My name's Samantha. My good friends call me Sammy. My nickname, my tag is Sammy Dogs because I'm obsessed with dogs and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't really want to take up too much time, like talking about myself. I have a degree, unfortunately, in therapy. So a lot of things that you're saying, like they hold a heavy weight to me. You know, like I hear what you're saying, and we've all, just like Ariel, like we've all been there, and it's horrendous. You go to sleep waking up, like you go to sleep like that, you wake up like that, and some of the things that like have helped me, you know, the affirmations was like hard for me to get comfortable with in the beginning too. I was like, that's why before I was like, I want to talk to you so bad, you know, that they were hard because I was like, I either don't believe them or they're just right. It's like very Hallmark, you know. I could find things like that were hard for me to connect about, but at the same time, sometimes like for me it was verbal affirmations that was helpful, but I don't know. I do have like a strong social support system, or are you more at the point where some of your friends are like, enough already, get over it, you keep repeating yourself?
That's where I was too. My friends didn't want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
I talked
Right.
about it enough, so it was like,
Yeah. I mean, and it's normal. And you know, one of the things that you said, Ariel, that like, I find myself sometimes in a hard place because I'm the therapist, you know, for people, but then in real life I'm not a therapist. Like I go to a therapist. You know what I mean? So it's like I have my own therapist. Like I have them on speed dial, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, but that's the thing, like I can go through the motions and say, but one of the things that Ariel said was like change the negative, and I mean I've read it before and I've seen it before, but it was just more like, God, I go through so many of the what ifs and why me or why not me, or how did I let that happen, or how did that just happen?
Right.
You know, like, and I think I have like tips, tricks, and tools. No, like, do not get it confused. We all go through it. And she just basically was like this is what resonated with me with the friends was, you know, she was like, if you tell somebody else a negative, it makes them feel negative about themselves. And I was like, God, well, that's my job all day long. Like, if I didn't have people telling me negative, I would be out of job in a way, you know? So I kind of like tooted a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, but I kind of do it too, and I'm doing it. And it ends up like, all right, well, let's take action. And I'm stuck in that place. So I'm like finding different ways. And I will tell you that I don't promote like books. I'm not like the reader. I do promote her book in a ridiculous way, because as a therapist, we like to give homework assignments, like, and things to do, and, you know, like what your action after you get off the call, or, you know, at the end of the day. But yours are really good. Because they really are, and they're short, they're concise, they're not hard, they're not overthinking. And some of these books, like I have some people like that read to me the books that they're reading, and I just want to like write a review and be like, where are you guys coming from? Planet what? Planet what? This is a book and it's a joke. Your book is and that's why like when she was like saying other authors and who to read, I'm like, but read you. And it's true, because I'm telling you, I'm tired of the tips, tricks, and tools. I'm looking for like sincerity, authenticity,
yeah,
and like humane, like really from the heart, and organic. And that's all the things she really is. So I was like, I gotta get on the support group with this girl and talk about it.
I appreciate it. I wrote the book in the most basic form, because when you're in that low of depression and going through a hard time,
Horrendous.
you can't make it complicated. You need easy.
It's
and
horrendous.
I would be like, just tell me how to get from A to B. No. Leave the extra silly stuff out there. Help me get out of here.
Do you Yeah, I mean, and I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. I know Ariel's name.
Sharon.
Very.
And by the way, can I just say that I actually have my master's in social work, and I.
Oh, nice. Me too. Okay. So see,
Well,
we're a bunch of head cases.
Yeah, I can tell you the rational. Everybody says to me, if you were telling somebody else what to do, I said, I know that. I know the whole rational part.
That's exactly what I
The rational,
know.
the emotional.
That's why I love Ariel's thing is because it's rationally irrational. You know what I mean? Like love is not a rational thought. Like I said to a friend of mine the other day, I'm like, I don't want to tell you because my feelings are just they're all over the place. And she was like, whose feelings aren't all over the place? Like, are you kidding me? And I was like, right. So this is like normal to be on a roller coaster ride and you just start self-doubting yourself so much. So like the thing that I think that's important is like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And this is where like she clicks in again. Where are we going to do to change this? Like what is not working? Because I could sit here all day long ruminating like about so many choices and decisions that like I could get into so much more personally like if it wasn't at this moment. But you know what I mean? Like really, and I know what it's like to not be able to get out of that depression, especially like just get me from A to B. Like people are like, what about the 5-year plan? I'm like, fuck the 5-year plan, 5-second plan.
Yeah.
So I feel with that, and I'm like, and people understate it. I think they understate depression.
Oh yeah. I mean, it feels like I feel like I'm in quicksand and I can't. There's nothing I can do. I'm just getting sucked in further, and I try to try to come up, and it's just the quicksand's pulling me down.
Right.
It's a horrible, dark feeling.
It's a horrendously dark feeling, but like, what is there like one thing like during the day that like makes you? I don't know, and this is gonna sound so lame and like so stupidly simple, but like open the blinds or like open up the curtains where you get like a little sunshine in or you get like a little light, anything like that, or do you stay in the dark? Which it's okay. I've been there. I mean,
no, I did. Well, I'm forced to. You know, if it wasn't for my son, I don't know what I would have done, honestly, because I was in such a bad state that you know I had pills in my drawer, and there were a few moments where I said the pain is it's a physical pain. I said I'd rather have a back like something horrible physically because the pain is so severe that I just felt like I wanted to run out of my body, run out of my mind. And get away, and it wasn't, and I'm so uncomfortable, and the discomfort is just so overwhelming, and you just don't know what to do with it, and it's like that fight or flight. You want to just run and run and run, and it's just such an uncomfortable feeling. And he said, I don't want to wake up in the morning, and I don't want to have to get up, and I don't want to have to do anything because
it's a lot of anxiety too because you're thinking about it all the time. It's like, when do you turn off the mind from thinking about just that alone? But you said one thing that you do is you do it for your son, so that's huge because you can make the choice not to. And the fact that you choose to be here and show up every day as a mom, because I don't know what he would do without mom. You know what I mean? Your mom. Like your mom. So I know. I mean, you were given that job. That's a beautiful gift, and you take care of that gift. And I think that that's huge because you could make other choices, and that's amazing that you do that. And like, I'm really glad to just be speaking to you today. That's a gift within itself to be able to touch you in any way. But you know what we have to do together is say, okay, yeah, the darkness is shit. But you know what? Somehow together, like. And this is where Ariel speared my thought a little bit. I could spend here the whole night talking about how bad it is with you. I could do that, and we could play top that. We could do that too. And you know what? You probably have me beat by 1,000 things. And in my mind, because it's my problems, I have you beat 1,000 times. But at the end of the day, they're just as big of problems because they're yours, because they're mine. So like, we have to just find a way to. For her, she says flip a switch. And for us, we're like, oh my God, that seems impossible. Flip the switch. If I could do that. But it's almost like you have to denounce the negative. And I'm quoting her all over the place. Like I say it now all the time in practice. Like, and I do it. Like I have to forgive and then release it. I could not do that. That was all you. Like I could not do that. I could not forgive and forget. And like it would just stay with me the way it stays on you. And I have the same thing. Like. With the anxiety sometimes, like, you know, you wake up, you have like 2 seconds of like a piece, and then boom, it starts to hit you. What am I thinking? Oh my God, the depression weighs, and you're just like, how do I get through the day to get to the night? And then insomnia has been an issue. So like, I get there, but what do we do to like stop that thought, change it, and say to yourself, okay, tonight, what are we gonna, what are the three of us? I mean, Errol's maybe a little past us, but like, what am I gonna do? What are you gonna do different? And then we can come back next week and say that we did it. And it could be something so small, like she's right, just like smile to more people, talk more, just what we do naturally that's organic to us. I mean, am I right, girl? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I would, one thing I did too was set trigger points. So like every morning when I get out of bed, my feet hit the ground, I have now chosen how I'm going to feel. Like, because I would feel shit and he was there already. And I'm like, no.
That's the thing.
And I'm going to feel good, and I'm going to do my best. And then
she's wanted to take back her power, and that's basically and she recently posted, you know, it's your story to tell. Like, do you want to come from a victim or a survivor standpoint? You know what I mean? Or whatever standpoint. I don't care. Like, fairy tale, God, whatever you choose to tell, and it be your story, you know. A friend of mine, you know, she lost her dad. Her mom was in a car accident. She was going to die at Christmas. I mean, it was like this horrendous story. And she ended up working it out. And I just said to her, I'm like, how do you act so normal and so positive? Like, here I am. I'd be a complete disaster. And she's like, literally, she goes, because that's not going to be the story I want to tell. She's like, that's not going to be my story, Sam. And I was like, oh, just like that. And she was just like,
this is what you want. This is what I want you to do. When you're ready to make this, and you can start today, or you can give yourself a few days, but say, okay, I am choosing not to talk about it anymore.
That's what she said.
Because what had happened is you've now told, and this is, I'm coming from experience, I told all my family, I told all my friends, so then with them trying to being help and being supportive with all the right intentions every single day, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How's the breakup? And then here was me talking about it all over again. They were seeing my reality in that same place.
Absolutely.
And so I said, okay, no more. And I started saying, I am feeling better, and I actually just don't want to talk about it anymore. And people started getting the hint and respecting that space, and it started feeling better. You've got to stop talking about it, because every time we talk, words have so much power.
Yes. You give it the power, you give it the energy. Now you're ruminating. Stop it in the nook.
I feel like it's being ingrained. It's like imprinted on my brain, and every time. And it's hard because the more I talk about it, like I feel okay while I'm talking about it because it's kind of relief.
And afterwards you don't.
Then I don't. Then I don't.
And that's the thing. It's like a Band-Aid, like, because we're getting to like give it, because right now we're giving it energy. But if I cut it right now and said, okay, what do we? If I like, you can find me, we can hook up, whatever. What are we going to talk about in 2 hours from now? That's not going to be about that. I don't care. Tell me something about you that has nothing to do with him or anything about that.
And that's when I just started dragging my friends, and we're going to go do a random act of kindness. We were going to go. I got my daughter involved.
I love that, by the way.
We would paste up popcorn bags on Redbox machines. We'd put $1 in the Redbox DVD. I was like, you know what, today I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to order a little coffee with a $20 bill, and then leave the rest there and be like, buy everybody else or however many coffees you can.
Around the world.
And leave the energy and the love there.
Yes.
But like Sammy said, my book has
that little thing that you can do.
Yeah, just I would make a goal every single day to just, or once a week, however much time you have, to try something new, to spread love. And you're going to find what works for you. I now volunteer. I actually now host huge charity events with homeless kids, and that is I love being with them. I love doing it. We just did a huge sleep out.
You were on the street, right, overnight?
Yeah, a bunch of us slept on the street to raise awareness and funds, and we raised $27,000.
No, did you?
Amazing. But that's on my niche, so you'll find it too, and that's why my book is just tons of ideas, because you'll find what resonates with you.
Exactly, and they're concise and simple, and they're perfect. They're well thought out, and they're just very organic. So it's like almost like they're not well thought out, which makes them perfect. They're just normal. you know, and I don't know, you could try it, you know what I mean? And like you
Sign
could sort of,
involved because then he'll be a positive support team. Like my daughter would be like, "Can we go buy flowers today?" And we would go buy a random bouquet of flowers and just either put it on people's cars or give it to a random person. But she started asking me, and it was like, "Yeah, let's go do that. Let's go bake cupcakes. Let's go to the vet or the where they rescue animals, and we'll go walk
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
animals.
That's
We'll go walk with
awesome.
them for
That's
hours.
so great that you do that. I love that you do
Or bring
that.
him to police stations or fire stations to go meet them because they could be his heroes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But you're getting yourself, and what happens is you get lost in
In
love.
the moment, yes, exactly. It's very true. And even if it's like people say fake it till you make it or whatever, it's kind of like you are there. You know what I mean? Like if we were all together in a room right now, the energy, even if you feel sad, which is totally okay. Like we're not always positive people. Like we have our moments. You know what I mean? Like, but in general, like we're like-minded. So I just feel like if we were in a room right now together. What we could do a little magic. We could make, you know what I mean? We definitely have a laugh, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be about any guy or any negative thing it would just be good energy, and we'd be giving energy to that instead of where we tend to dwell, which is in that what if, why, how come that happened to me place.
Yeah.
Guilty as well.
Right, right. Because let me ask you a question. Just how did you get through the accepting, being resistant to accepting it? Like, what do you do with that resistance? How do you break through that?
Progress, girl. Work in progress. I don't know that you rid it. I think, like what Ariel's saying, you just control it. And you just realize, like, and there are moments where I don't have that control, but I like to focus on the ones that do have the control, and that's something else. Like Ariel's helped me with is just like control that negative thinking, because the darkness will just take over. It will just overcome you with thoughts, and then you do that. You ruminate. So I just say, like, how do I stop that before it even gets there, or listen to the noise, the chatter, like that stuff. It'll mentally drive you crazy, literally. I mean, how do you do that? So I'm trying to focus on, like, what can I do different? What little things, like, what purposeful things can I do today that'll make a difference, even if they don't matter to anybody else? Like, a little boy went missing in my neighborhood, and they thought he was abducted, and blah, blah, blah. I went out looking for him. Like, there were choppers in the air. Like, and getting out of the house and being part of something important, like, it just made me talk to other people, and I met good people, and I just thought of, like, everything that Ariel writes about, and I was just like, I'm putting out good energy over a horrendous situation. This is not a good situation. It was a 3.5-year-old little boy who unfortunately didn't make it. Like, it was horrendous. You know what I mean? But the point is like, I put purpose into my day. I put purpose into, like, what I was doing, and it felt good. And the feeling good brought me to other people that I was just able to connect with, and I wasn't sitting in the house watching doing the things that we do, doing the things that's so easy and comforting to do. I had to, like, step outside. For me, I don't have children yet, but I have my dogs. So, for me, I sometimes I make fun of myself. I felt like I was like a Cymbalta commercial, like, will you not walk your dogs? And my dogs are like, take me out, and I'm like, I'm a bad person, and I was like, oh my God. But I have to, it's just about a matter of, like you said, do it for them. So for Ariel, she's like, just do it for yourself, do it for love. And I'm trying to make that come into play every day and say, how do I love myself more? How do I stand up for myself more? How do I give myself a little bit more self-worth? And it's from inside, So I look at things that, I mean, I literally, like, for me, like she says what she does in her journaling, I do that in my phone. I do it mentally throughout the day, oddly. You know what I mean? Especially, like, for myself, I do a lot of mind checks because the psych stuff gets in the way. But how do you do it?
Well, the problem is everybody was saying to me, you know, you have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on yourself. And I said to them, I feel empty. So it's like focusing on an empty glass. What do you do with that? What do you do with the
That's
empty
why
glass?
the answer is create love. And that's why we're talking about going out and
I was
spreading.
going to say, like, what do you like to do? Like, do you like to do animal? Like, what do you, just like for shits and giggles? Like, what do you?
I love to, I mean, I do, you know, I went to a Zumba class last night. I love to go out, like when the weather gets nicer here. I'm in New York, so it's been really.
Oh, okay, I'm from New York. I'm trying to get to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I love to be outdoors. That's my favorite thing is just be outside. And if it's sunny, I'm out there. I will do anything to be outside.
Do you get outside every day? A little bit?
Well,
No.
if the weather gets nicer, I'll be outside every day. And that does help. Just when it's sunny and I can just be outside and take a walk, that's like my favorite thing in the world to do.
Ariel, let's kick this around. What's something that she could do outside that's, you know, gives her the sunshine? And because I think like
That I do, and I when I can't go outside.
Sorry, my dog is going to come into the camera.
I do when I'm driving or when I'm walking. I will literally every single person that I encounter, I beam them love. And so if I'm driving, it's every red light I hit, the nearest,
Puts out the energy.
I am sending them love, and then I smile because I know that they already just got better. And so my daughter and I will do it, and we would be like, okay, every person that we see walking. So if we're in the car and they're walking, we're like fighting over who's sending them love first.
I love it.
It's like, think of it like angel dust or glitter dust or fairy dust, but I'm literally like, I just sprinkled some love dust on you, and I'm making your day better. So that's something that's really easy, doesn't require money, doesn't require time, and you could literally take a 5-minute walk around your block and just be like, even if they don't see you or you don't, so not have to smile or catch eye contact, but even if they don't, it's just like,
Feel it. Turn around and feel it. I mean, it's true. But especially in New York, people say that we're not nice, but we are nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they may look at you at first like you're a weirdo, but no, but it'll be totally, you know what I mean? And I just think like that's something that you can do, and she's right. Like once you start connecting with other people, it just kind of flows, and I don't know if you like believe in the whole energy thing, but
I do.
Do you?
I totally do.
It's a different concept, you know what I mean? So like that's why I really like finding people of like minds. But if you believe that, like, go with the flow. You know what I mean? And sometimes like I watch her in the morning, you know what I mean? Or like I look at my phone and I like scroll through it, and if I'm like having a bad, and I'll see something that she writes, and you know she's not going to put her garbage out there like I had a bad night tonight. You know, it's going to be something uplifting, and it just triggers me to like start my day like that because it's not written on a piece of paper from somebody else. Is she talking to me directly? No. But does what she say resonate with me? 150%. And you know what I mean? So, and clearly you like what she does because you're in, you know, her virtual group. So like, you know, you like what she's putting out because it's good energy. So give some of that, like pay it forward. You know what I mean? Like just do it, like put it out there. And I guarantee you, like even a little smile that you're smiling at me right now. And I can make 1,000 New York jokes, and it would make you smile, you know? And, like, it's just, and that alone is changing the energy a little bit. And, like, and that's the thing. We just go with the flow, you know? And that's why I said if the three of us were really in a real room right now, the energy would be so different, and we'd be putting out, like, different vibes. We'd be, like, laughing a little bit and telling funny stories. I'm sure we all have some for days. You're a social worker, me, this one over here. She's followed by 27th. That could you imagine? So I mean, and she came from a dark place, and she just decided to rise up. And how did she do it is the question. And that's the thing. Read her book. She takes a blipper to talk about the negative, just to say I'm human and I get it, and then goes right into okay, now change your negative thought, and here comes the positive, and put yourself in a place where you're doing something positive, even if, I mean, I know like income has to come into it at some point in your mind because that's always a stressful thing is finances and money, but I do believe if like you really love it and you put like your like what she's doing, look what she raised. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that? You know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. 27,000, is that what you said? 20,000? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, look at that. And
Yeah.
just like this. Just like this. You know, so I mean, and it's not like she started 100 years ago. You know what I mean? So this is possible. So,
Sherry, I'm telling you, it was 3 months of straight crying, and then finally being like, all right, enough is enough. And so I broke up in September. I was still crying December, Christmas, when I went home to visit family. By June, I was writing a book. By March, I was a whole different person. I mean, by January, I was writing a book. By March, I was a completely different person. By June, over. Like, laughing, smiling, and so it really 3 to 6 months. You don't even need that much time, but really, like, magic can happen in such a short amount of time for you.
I believe it. I really believe it.
Last month of downhill, like it's just about to get better. We actually have to end this really soon. So let's do a guided meditation, and then we'll talk for 2 minutes. We got to wrap up.
Great.
Okay. So in guided meditations, wherever you're at, I just ask that you sit straight up and down. And we want to keep, again, our palms on our knees if you're sitting, and open and out. So they're just up straight ahead. And then close your eyes. It's very important for breathing. So a big, deep breath in. And the idea is to fill it up. You're bringing in love and light and air, and squeeze it into those areas you don't think about. So pushing it into your elbows, your fingertips, your toes, your knees. And then squeeze out, push out all the negativity with that let out. And then big breath deep again. And back out. This is a guided meditation called Clearing the Space, so just imagine it as I'm talking about it. In your mind's eye, visualize the driveway in front of your house. If you live in an apartment, then pick the house you grew up in, or pick any house you have been in that has a driveway. For this purpose of the exercise, that is your house. I want you to imagine that your ex has parked his car right in the middle of your driveway. If your ex didn't have a car, make up a kind of car he would drive. You're looking at the car of your ex-lover sitting parked in your driveway. Maybe you're standing next to it. Maybe you're peering at it from a window or through a crack in the door. Notice the feelings that you feel that are arising as you view this scene. As you're looking at this car, you suddenly catch a glimpse of the biggest, baddest tow truck you have ever seen. It looks like one of those monster trucks with wheels that are nearly as tall as a normal car. At first you think it's going to drive right by. But then you realize it's pulling right up to your ex's car. It backs up into it, and sure enough, out comes the tow truck driver, who lowers that big hook right onto the bumper. Watch as the tow truck raises half the car up off the ground, and listen as the truck engine cranks up. Now the tow truck is driving forward and pulling your ex's car out of your driveway. Notice how that feels. After the tow truck has pulled away, you look down, and the first thing you notice is the driveway where your ex's car was parked is filthy. There's grease and oil and dirt everywhere, and it looks like a mess. You look back to see where the tow truck is taking the car, and you see it's headed out of the neighborhood, down the street, out of your state. It's now heading north all the way to the North Pole. The truck keeps going, traveling faster and faster. It is just past the North Pole. It's picking up speed. Finally, you notice it's lifted off the ground entirely. It's flying through the air like a plane taking off. You watch it make its way up through the clouds, and you see the tow truck driver, who has carefully parachuted to safety. The tow truck with your ex's car in tow is now in outer space. It continues to head to the far reaches of the universe. It has just passed out of the Milky Way, and it has already passed several black holes. You are not in the tow truck, by the way. You're still at your house. But you can see the tow truck and the car are now beyond the farthest reaches of the universe. Then you suddenly feel something in the palm of your hand. So you look down, and there's a little box with a big red button on it. When I say go, you're going to push that button and blow the car into 1,000,000 pieces. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. The car and the tow truck have just been blown into 10 gazillion pieces. You can't even see them because they are so small and so many light years away. With a great sense of relief and satisfaction, you turn your attention once again to the driveway, to the spot where your ex's car was parked. Once again, you see the dirt and the abuse and the grease, and you now realize this is totally unacceptable. So you gather up yourself, roll up your sleeves, and you go to work cleaning the space. You are placing 4 very tall candles on all corners of the driveway. They are shoulder high, or some of them can even be waist high. Now take a match or a lighter and light the candle at each of the 4 corners of the driveway. The moment you light them, you see that a team in hazmat suits come running in. They have cleansers and equipment, and they're starting to clean up the mess in the driveway. The 4 candles continue to burn, and your hazmat crew is taking away the biggest pieces of debris, putting them into their garbage bags. Then they're getting on their truck and going home for the day. You leave the candles burning. They are purifying your space, cleaning out the remnants of the past. These candles are going to burn for the next 30 days, and today is day 1. Take a good look around, and tomorrow, the moment you light those candles, or you put your attention back on those candles, the hazmat team comes running in with scrub brushes, soap, new paint, asphalt, whatever your driveway needs to become fresh and new again. The goal is to make this driveway the most beautiful, gorgeous driveway you have ever seen. You're making it very inviting to love, so that your true soulmate, your true love, cannot wait to pull into your life. You come back each day and see how far down the candles have burned, and see that the grease stains have faded and disappeared, only to be replaced by fresh, white pavement and beauty. Each day as you return to clean the space, adding more plants and flowers, and as you do, you are now rolling out a cosmic welcome for your beloved. You're ready to welcome new love, real love. The internal space of your body and mind is becoming clear and open. You are making room in your heart for love. So it is. You guys can open your eyes.
Yay.
Yay! That's just one of them. And so you're getting rid of all the debris, and you're just putting a cosmic welcome for love. And you're going to fill this up with your love. Just saying, I love me, it's going to be okay. And create as much love as you can, whether it's little habits, little pay it forwards, little random acts of kindness that you can do between now and a week from now. Like give yourself, okay, I'm going to go on a 7-day journey or a 7-day trial run. I'm just going to fill up my day with as many as I can. Even to the point where every time I would feel down, I'd be like, who could I send a text message to saying, hey, thinking about you, hope you have a great day, to a family member. Send an email. Spend a couple hours before you go to sleep just writing encouraging notes. And you're going to place them at, when next time you fill up your gas pump, leave one at the gas pump. Next when you go buy groceries, leave one at the cash register there. So just try to find or make a goal, if you want to see how many times you can create love in your life, in your regular routine, your regular habits. So you check the mail, leave a note for the mailman, stuff like that.
It's true. Even just say his name, like, hey, you know, if they like deliver it to your door or whatever, just like even knowing his name, you know, it's amazing. Just like creating just that good energy, it changes stuff.
Sherry, when I get off here, I'm going to email you the meditations.
Okay.
If you want, we'll do it definitely. I'll see you next week. But if you want, we can try to arrange a time and do one like midway. So like you probably can get off this call feeling kind of good, and then you're going to need reminders. So I don't know if you want to do like Sunday or Monday. And we can do another guided meditation, a different one, and just kind of talk for a few minutes, kind of help you get you resituated. I'm making myself available by text messages and Facebook messages. I'm really hard to get on a phone call because I have so many people that want to talk to me, but I can send messages. So if you want to text or Facebook, I'm sure Sammy would love to help you too. It seems like she does. But just create a really good supportive team. So now from this moment on, you and I are not going to ask and talk about the relationship. We already know how it's going. We're going to ask how are you feeling and how are you creating love and moving forward. And so if you want a supportive team, we can be that for you.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, so much. I appreciate this so much. You have no idea. I'm like gonna get going. This is just so helpful to me, and I just appreciate you. I'm so grateful for the both of you.
Mwah.
And it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry, and that's like the perfect time to write these letters. I would literally, half my letters had tears on them. Like
Absolutely true.
I know it feels shitty right now. Believe me, I fucking know, and I know.
Yeah, exactly. You're not alone, and it's okay. But let's crawl out now. Like we addressed it. Let's wrap it up and let's drop it. And now I want to hear like something else. And if you want to write us a thank you note, feel free. No, I'm totally kidding. But if that makes you smile, it makes me smile. So do it. Write us a letter.
I will. I will.
Ladies, thank you both for spending your time today. This has been so much fun. I'll be here again next week. And sending you peace, love, and light.
Back at you, girl. It was nice to see you guys.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye, girl.
Thank you.